The arson suspect called Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro a monster and cited the governor's plan for Palestinian people, according to the police warrant. The Harrisburg man police charged with attempted homicide, terrorism, and arson has a history of mental health challenges, his family says. Tyrone Bowman, live. Let's talk about this on tonight, as reported by the Philadelphia Inquirer concerning Pennsylvania news. The man charged with attempted homicide for setting the Pennsylvania governor's residence on fire while Governor Josh Shapiro and his family slept inside allegedly called police less than an hour after the incident, telling dispatchers the governor needs to be told, quote, he will not take part in his plans for what he wants to do to the Palestinian people, end quote. How are you going to blame the governor? Now, something doesn't even make sense with this already, but let me continue to read. Details of the call were included in a search warrant executed Tuesday, giving new insight into Cody Bowman's mindset the night of the attack. Officials have not announced a motive in the case. Bowman, who is 38, was charged with attempted homicide, terrorism, arson, and related charges for attempting to kill Shapiro on Sunday morning. Members of Bowman's family told media outlets that he struggles with mental illness and that they had called local police in recent weeks after he stopped taking his medication for bipolar disorder and schizophrenia and had become irritable and agitated, quote, close quote. Authorities said Bowman called 911 at 2:50 a.m., shortly after he allegedly set the fires in the governor's mansion. There's no alleged in it. He did it. This psychopath right here. He did it. Let's put his picture up in full mass. This one. There's no alleged in it. He's guilty as charged. And you're not going to blame it on mental health and schizophrenia. According to the warrant, Bowman identified himself by name on the phone call and told authorities he was not hiding and willing to confess everything he'd done. Our people have been put through too much by that monster, Bowman said over the phone, according to the warrant, adding, all he has is a banquet hall to clean up, quote, close quote. Shapiro is one of the most prominent Jewish elected officials in the country and Pennsylvania's third Jewish governor. He and his family gathered in the Harrisburg mansion Saturday evening to celebrate the first night of Passover in the same room that Bowman allegedly later ignited 3 fires with Molotov cocktail styles made from empty beer bottles and gasoline. So there's no alleged in it. He did it. After Bowman confessed to the acts and turned himself in, police executed search warrants on Bowman's parents' home where Bowman resided, seizing his electronic devices, any notes referencing Shapiro or the conflict in Gaza, and a storage unit. Shapiro has been a steadfast supporter of Israel throughout his career and especially since the October 7, 2023 Hamas attack. Since then, he has advocated for the safe return of Israeli people being held hostage by Hamas while acknowledging the significant death toll in Gaza. He has repeatedly said he supports a two-state solution for the war-torn region. However, it's unclear how closely Bowman followed Shapiro's stance on the issue or whether the governor was targeted because of his faith and stature as a Jewish leader. At a news conference on Wednesday, Shapiro would not comment on whether he felt he was targeted because of his faith, repeatedly saying it was up to prosecutors to determine Bowman's motivations. Quote, I know there are people out there who want to adopt their own political viewpoints or their own worldviews to what happened and why. I choose not to participate, end quote, the governor said. Still, Shapiro doubled down on past statements, saying nothing will deter him from doing his job as governor or proudly and openly practicing his faith. Quote, I want Jewish families to see that my wife and I and our kids continue to celebrate our faith proudly and openly, he said. I want them to see that people from all different faiths have reached out to condemn this act and to lift up our family in prayer, and that's the Pennsylvania way, end quote. Dauphin County District Attorney Fran Chardo said Wednesday it's unlikely he would charge Bowman with ethnic intimidation at this point, because although any potential hate component is a critical part of the county's case against Bowman, it would have no impact on the final penalty. Bowman faces upwards to 100 years in prison based on his current charges, including attempted homicide, terrorism, and arson. It doesn't increase the grade of the offense because we're already at the highest grade, Chardo said. Bowman admitted to police that he knew when he started the fires Sunday that Shapiro and his wife could be there, that he was harboring a hatred for Shapiro and would have attacked him with a hammer if he saw him inside the residence, according to an affidavit of probable cause outlining the charges against Bowman. On Tuesday, a coalition of Jewish groups across Pennsylvania released a statement saying that the attack on the state's Jewish governor on Passover raises serious concerns and pain for our community. Anti-Semitic attacks have risen significantly across Pennsylvania and the United States in recent years, the leaders wrote. These acts must not be tolerated in any civilized society. Everyone has the right to worship freely, and our differences should not only be tolerated, but embraced and celebrated. According to the affidavit of probable cause, state police found a, quote, snap-on jacket, black bag, and a small sledgehammer in Bowman's home. Items they said are identical to what surveillance footage showed that Bowman had with him during the arson attempt. Police said they seized 4 smartphones, a laptop, and an external hard drive in the search. Another warrant requested a DNA swab from Bowman to compare with the items believed to be used in the attack. State police, meanwhile, continued to investigate how Bowman was able to bypass Shapiro's 24/7 security detail and the additional security assigned to the governor's residence, climbing a fence, breaking 2 windows, and setting off Molotov cocktails, evading detection. State police said Wednesday they will work with a third-party expert to conduct an independent security review that will include a risk and vulnerability assessment of the mansion. Bowman has faced criminal charges on several occasions over the last decade, including for assault, forgery, and traffic-related offenses. His social media presence on Facebook suggested that he held no allegiance to a specific political party or hatred toward specific groups, posting mostly about drug use, relationship troubles, and memes across the political spectrum. In 2023, Bowman was charged with 3 counts of simple assault in a case that is ongoing in Dauphin County. And in 2016, he pleaded guilty to 1 felony count of forgery and was sentenced to 18 months of probation. You know what? They should have dealt with his problems back then. So this is okay, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to leave it right there. I'll keep you updated on this developing story. Tyrone Bowman. Never surrender. Never quit.